when you don't catch a sniper, bro. Sheesh. Yo, what's up, guys? Let's talk about the two trades we took today, which were AUDJPY and EURAUD. You can see the entries. EURAUD. This one was like quite early. You can see the green dot there. So yeah, I couldn't monitor this trade, so I like just entered early and kept my stop loss like slightly, like it was somewhere around here. And yeah, and AUD JPY as well. This was like an amazing trade. I actually took the trade right there with the stop loss just above the candle close. Sorry, above the wick. But yeah, let's analyze both of these, right, and the reason behind why I took them. So starting with EURAUD, that was the first one. I'm just gonna clear everything out and yeah, go start afresh. So if you look at, I actually posted that as well. So yeah, it was this guy shared it. Like Walter, he's a good friend of mine, and yeah, so follow him as well if you don't. And then we actually posted this chart right after he posted that, and yeah, so this is the way I analyzed it, right? So starting from the daily time frame, all right, like I don't care about everything behind. Just look at this. So price came down, we came back up, broke structure, and then we had a breakup block right there that we didn't retest yet, right? So I would mark that off, and yeah, so just the candle body, right? And the amazing part about this zone right there is it also aligns with the void fill right there, if you look at that, right? And yeah, you guys should know what void is right now anyway. Yeah, so anyway, so that was the daily. I'm going to the 4 hour. Okay, like I think I had also called a trade somewhere up here that I never took, by the way. But yeah, my target was at least equal lows. If you look at that, okay, this is a massive support for retailers, like a massive support, right? So all I wanted price to do is actually break that support. And yeah, we did break it. This was, I think, like yeah, it was yesterday. So yeah, we did break the support and came into the daily breaker. And yeah, so for for this trade here, we saw an engulfing candle, and the next thing I wanted to do was take a trade in this last bear candle, so the last sell to buy candle, right? So I'm gonna get rid of this as well now that we've identified our zones. By the way, yeah, so you can see that was the daily price already bounced off, and I was hoping for price to come back down in that line. Like I'm gonna show you where that line actually aligns with, right? So yeah, that was my 4 hour. I was waiting for price to come back down to inside this candle at least before I take a buy. Okay, all right, so going into the hourly, what do we see right there on order block? Right, so price came into the breaker, we saw an engulfing candle, we came back up, broke structure, we saw a really corrective move down, and yeah, and then we just pushed up, right? So from the order block, so I actually took my entry up here, so it was at the wick right there, just to be safe, and because I couldn't monitor the trade, so I placed a limit right there with a stop loss under the candle close. So this was a decent 3R where I took my profit. So right there under the candle close, and yeah, so my first take profit where I closed like half my trade was at 3R. So if it's not at, yeah, so somewhere yeah, I think it was like right at this high if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that was about like 3.7R, and like, so that's where I closed half. And my second half is actually running at some, what is it, like about like 4 point something R. But yeah, so that was EURAUD, right? Like really small. So if you want to go to the like 3-minute time frame and all that, you can actually get an even better entry. So look what happened. As price was approaching the zone, we form more supports, right? Like every other video or like tutorial I've created on Twitter, we form a support. We come back, oh, sorry, we break down just to grab liquidity under the support, and then we come back up creating an engulfing. So you could literally enter back over here or the 50% of this candle. So once we have the engulfing, you know this was a fake out, right? So this was just like to scare all the to trigger all the stop losses. So you could literally enter at the open or the 50% with a stop loss under the candle close, and this will have been a mad RR, right? So yeah, so this was like the first trade that I took. You can see the entry was yeah, it was kind of like premature, like it was kind of early, but right there. And yeah, it was on the 5-minute time frame as well. But this was the trade I want to share, and the entry on this was like insane. So by the way, I don't really, let's go to AUDJPY first. And yeah, all of this was just before the news, right? And one thing that I've always said, like the news, like obviously the markets are manipulated, but you don't need to like pay attention to the news. Like that shouldn't matter. Like what you see on the charts is all what you need. News is just there to fasten the process up. That's it, right? So anyway, for AUDJPY, this guy here, I think his name is J. Where is it on messages? Follow him if you don't, by the way. He actually told me to look into EURAUD because like it was in an area of interest, and yeah, so that's when I actually like opened AUDJPY, or else I never trade this anyway. And yeah, so price was actually it broke the structure, and it was somewhere around here, going up, where he actually told me to like look into it, right? And yeah, so I was like, there's like three options as to where I take a sell. So the first one was this order block. Let's look at the order block. It was right there. So it was from this wick there and the order block. So that was my first scenario. If price gets, I'm going to take a sell. The reason for this is, look at the 4 hour. Okay, this is where structure was broken, right? So we want to come back to retest that wick to fill the void as well. So that's one confluence. The second confluence is like the hourly order block, right? And yeah, so hourly order block come up into that and then go down. And this also aligns with these highs here. So it will come back up to grab the highs, grab the liquidity above the highs into the order block and then die. But right after that, I actually noticed this as well. So when I sent him this message, I actually noticed this as well, that this was actually a resistance, and this was a whole fake out move, right? So look at that. Would you agree with me that's a resistance? Easy, right? So price was in an uptrend. Okay, we formed resistance, and then we came up and broke down, breaking structure under the support as well, and closing under the support. So this means like a retest here will be actually like really good, right? So that's when I actually messaged him again, sending him this message here. So yeah, so like this was just like our ideas that we were sharing, right? As in where we can take the shorts, and I was like, I wanted to break that high. I wanted to break the high. Okay, into anyway, if it doesn't go in the order block, that's fine, but I wanted to break the high and then close back under the resistance before going down. And that's exactly what we saw. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and look at that. So the reason behind why I wanted it to break the high, by the way, if you look at the resistance, okay, we already had our first touch of the resistance. So if price actually comes back for a second touch, I'd expect the resistance to hold, only because like now we're looking for a sell, but I'd expect this high to break first, right? Because right now all the retailers will actually be looking at this as a resistance now. You get it? So I want that high to break. So let's look at the price action in the 3 minutes or 5 minutes or like a lower time frame to see where I actually entered. And this was like during the news. Okay, so 5-minute time frame, and I've posted this a couple of times as well, right? Like all this, like during the news, you would see price go one direction just to like scare everyone else, and then once the news is released, it will go like in the other direction. And if you look at the outlook as well, where is it? Okay, the forecast was 1.7, and previously, okay, I'm not sure what that means, but it was expected to be bullish. I'm not really sure. I don't really care about the forecaster, but anyway, so I expected this to break, right, and come back in the range. So let's rewind, by the way, into somewhere around there maybe. Okay, and see where I took the sell. So, and I'm gonna go to the 1 minute time frame for that. Okay, so we had same scenario over and over again, right? Once price is approaching your zone of interest, so my zone of interest is above that high, right? Let's mark that up. Come on, bro. Okay, so above that high, right? That's my zone of interest. So what did we see just before that? Price actually came there. It wasn't an uptrend. It came then, it started forming a resistance. It does again, like I'm gonna say this again, it doesn't matter how you draw a resistance as long as you know there's a resistance, right? So price forms a resistance, then forms a fake outs and comes back down. Not only that, it goes all the way down, breaking like all these lows and like breaking structure, right? So when price actually formed this fake outs and it came back in the range, I took my first sell here, by the way. So at this breaker block, because we had no order block really, so I took my sell right at this breaker block, and I think it's aligned with the 5 minute time frame. Okay, so this breaker block, and I'm in the 5 minute. Oh yeah, so it was our last buy candle before the sell candle, right? So before the engulfing, and yeah, So I was looking for this retest into this candle, and yeah, going back into the 1 minute. So yeah, I actually sold right there. Yeah, I sold right there, and once price broke this low, I moved my stop loss to break even. But later in time, what happened again was price came back. It took my stop loss again. But I just knew it's gonna like continue going down, right? So I placed a sell again, a market sell somewhere up here. But I think this was during the news. So because of that, I actually got like my order got executed somewhere up there, like, which was insane. Like if you look at this, right, like right up there. This is the 5 minute time frame. So I'm just gonna mark it at the wick, right? So somewhere up there. Okay. And yeah, let's just throw a short position. So somewhere up there. My stop loss was obviously above the candle close, which is like 3 pips if I'm not mistaken. Where is it? 2.6. I think like it was 3 pips when I placed it. So slightly higher as well, but 3 pips. So that's where I entered again. Okay. So 1 minute time frame, and yeah, so I'm just gonna get rid of the rewind mode, and look at what price did. So this was an insane trade I took. And by the way, EUR, AUD, and AUDJPY are the first trades I took this week, right? But where's it gone? Okay, look at that. So my first take profits, obviously, let's go to the 5 minute time frame. It was under the first low. I think it was, yeah, under these equal lows. So like we had equal lows here and here. My first take profit was just under that. So it was about like a 5.6 R, and that's where I closed half, and the rest is still running. So right now it's actually at 11 R, which is pretty insane. So I think about 4 R in EUR AUD and 11 R in AUDJPY. But yeah, so same scenarios over and over and over again. So yeah,